Founded in 1919, the Chinese high school has undergone numerous changes before it has become one of Singapore's leading institutions today. Hwa Chong Institution boasts a rich history of 98 years and has produced numerous talents over time. In this documentary, we talk about how Hwa Chong has evolved over the years and the culture of the school that makes it unique from others. We also emulate some of the Hwa Chong alumni who have studied there in the early years. The clock tower was used as a headquarters for the Allied defense. After Singapore was occupied by the Japanese in World War II, the school was used as a Japanese base, with its clock tower serving as an ideal surveillance tower. It was also used as a concentration camp during the Sok Ching massacre. The tower's four-phase clock was destroyed and removed during World War II and was restored in the early 1970s. On 90th March 1999, the clock tower was gazetted as a national monument to mark the significance of the institution as the first Chinese medium secondary school to be built in Southeast Asia by its founder, Mr. Tan Kah Kee. Hwa Chong places a huge emphasis on the Chinese culture even till today. Besides instilling Chinese values into students, lessons such as physical education are conducted in Chinese language to promote the use of Chinese language among students.
What do you think of the Chinese culture in Hwa Chong?
I think definitely because Hwa Chong is one of the old Chinese schools, right? Yeah, in that sense. So definitely I still remember like the school actually emphasized a lot on the Chinese culture part. So like what I can recall is during recess time, most of the students, actually quite a lot of students still like to use Mandarin instead of English, sometimes to do chit chat. That's one part. The other thing is I still remember that every week we have to go to auditorium. Then the principal at that time, Mr. To, will actually try to use Chinese to use Mandarin to teach us certain Chinese values like harmony and be hardworking, then having integrity, respect elderly, and things like that. Then we will also even like sing Chinese songs like Wu So Nan Yao Man Jiang Hong, yeah, during the assembly. Then the other thing is I remember during certain Chinese like festivals like Chinese New Year, some of the teachers will actually invite the students to their houses. Then we exchange oranges, say good wishes to each other. Then now the vice principal now, I think Mr. Tan Bin Chong, last time he was actually in charge of the China scholars, right? So during Chinese New Year and some other Chinese festivals, he will actually invite all the China scholars to actually do some celebrations. So in terms of that, definitely we actually, I think compared to other schools, actually Hwa Chong focus much more in terms of the cultivation of Chinese culture. Correct. Yeah.
As time passes, more schools in Singapore are focusing on the Western cultures. Some worry that this will affect and even dilute traditional Chinese culture among Hwa Chong students.
Okay, if you talk about culture in terms of spoken language, yes, because I think our students have now conversed more and more in English rather than in Mandarin. But other areas, other aspects, like for example, 自强不息, the school motto, 饮水思源, 己利人己大大人, I think this is still communicated to the students, and these are important values that the school wants to keep. That's why it's still in the motto and in the values. Whereas we also have other events that we celebrate quite extensively. For example, Chinese New Year. We also try to inculcate like Teachers' Day celebration. Right? So we want to inculcate the value of giving back to the society. So SL, service learning, is a very important category in our school. Yeah. So in terms of that, actually, if you look at it, it may not have been less, but it's just that maybe speaking wise, encouraging our students to speak more in Mandarin can be done better. But I think it's also a society trend, so it's really a bit difficult. So I guess trying to preserve the value and the culture in terms of events, in terms of explicit motto and values. I think this is what the school is trying to do. Secondly, I think in terms of medium of communication, then as students, we all speak to each other in Mandarin. As soon as the bell goes, we all start communicating with each other in Mandarin. But unlike current batches or students, they don't really converse with each other in Mandarin. So effectively, students then I think are effectively more bilingual than now. So although maybe written you all may be able to speak write better Mandarin or Chinese, but I think in terms of opportunity to speak the language, I think that's lacking.
Hwa Chong has many guiding principles and mottos that are instilled into the students, such as 自强不息 and win-win. To many students, Hwa Chong is like their second home. They have learned and experienced a lot with their friends during the school years and forged precious memories. Those experiences and memories are the tiny things in life that help to shape them to become who they are today.
I find that it is actually quite a competitive atmosphere that the students are in, but even with that, they are all very helpful, and we do help each other to excel for excellence, to excel to excellence.
Dr. Chu, what was your most memorable experience in Hwa Chong as a student?
I think as every student of Hwa Chong, I think during my time, the experience at the National Track and Field Finals at the National Stadium, where the whole school are dismissed early for lunch, and then we make our way to the National Stadium to cheer on our athletes. I think those are the most memorable. I think all of us really cheer our heart out, and on top of that, we can really feel the spirit of 自强不息. We see the audience moving in spirit together with the athletes.
As time passes, Hwa Chong has initiated many new programs and changed the education system to help the students to continue to strive for the best and ensure that they excel in different aspects even after they graduate.
There are a few aspects that definitely the students now and then are different. During my time, there were two streams in each level. So there were the express streams and the special stream. So for the difference between these two streams is express streams basically they took normal Chinese, whereas the special stream they took on higher Chinese, right? Which is what currently you are doing now. So as a result, because of that, there is a mix in the cohort in terms of the ability. So generally, the whole cohort ability academically will not be as strong as your batches or after we turn independence. Once we turn independence, the school actually only take in special stream students. So basically, academically, in terms of ability, you are definitely more academically able.
What were the programs like during your time in Hwa Chong?
It depends on which faculty you belong to. We have the science, we have the arts, and we have the humanities. And they have a structured lecture tutorial system, which everybody goes to a lecture, and after that we have small groups in the tutorial, which is headed by a tutor.
Oh, I see.
Right. So in terms of discipline-wise, I also feel that previously students maybe are more rowdy during my time. So the school actually had very strict discipline standard. Things like white socks, white shoes, haircut was checked almost like every week, very regularly. So things like so all of us have a very standard appearance. Hairstyle is always the same, straight, not curly. If you're curly hair, definitely you will have to write a letter to prove that it's natural, like yours. Right? So that's one. Discipline is very strict. Whereas now I think discipline have laxed a little bit, but it doesn't mean that you are less or discipline problem is more then than now. It's just a matter of culture change, right? So now I think the culture of the school is trying to develop you all to be more creative, more outspoken, willing and daring to communicate our ideas. So that's why discipline is now more subtle, to encourage you all